Traders, how the devil are we? Welcome back to Simply Forex. Trader Tom here, and I am with you for the next 45 minutes. We are going to do the following in those 45 minutes. We are going to talk about my dentist appointment because I think the anesthesia is just wearing off. So I can feel the pain coming in. I went to the dentist. I had to go back to the dentist. I had to have a filling. Nobody likes a filling. Nobody likes a drill. Anyway, that's not what you're here for. You don't care about my dental treatment. We are going to talk about trading. So first of all, we are going to look at a trade that I am forward testing, right? We've got this new London Open strategy that I shared with the VIP Discord. And I'm forward testing this strategy, right? So we're going to look at that. It's a pound US dollar sell. I like US dollar strength anyway. So we'll take a look at that, guys. We'll also look at, see what else is setting up. Euro, Aussie, dollar, maybe. But other than that, guys, not a lot setting up today. We're also going to look at the news right now, right? Because, well, firstly, there's no news during our live stream, but later on you do have crude oil inventories. All of these are UK time, and we do have the FOMC meeting minutes later. So there's some big news coming out for oil and the US later, so must be aware of that. But the news I want to focus on is the New Zealand dollar interest rate decision. So it's not often that you get the forecast and the actual result are different, right? So as with a lot of central banks, they have been reducing their interest rate, right? So previously it was 3%, forecasted it to go down to 2.75%, a 25 basis drop, but it actually dropped 50 basis points, right? So that is obviously very negative for the New Zealand dollar, right? It's very pro-business, right? It's very pro-business, like generally speaking, lower interest rates are pro-business and good for the indices. But for currencies, it makes them weak, okay? And we saw that across the board with New Zealand dollar pairs, right? You look at any New Zealand dollar pair, right? We had this massive sell-off earlier, right? New Zealand dollar weakness. Just look at any of them, guys, right? Okay, yen pairs are a little bit of an exception, but we did have this big sell-off, right? New Zealand dollar, US dollar, right? Big sell-off. We're having a bit of a retrace now, but ultimately the New Zealand dollar, the New Zealand dollar was very weak on the back of that. Has it presented any opportunities? Maybe, right? If we look at Euro New Zealand dollar, I quite like Euro New Zealand dollar right now. This is an interesting level because if we look at the day chart, we still, we've got a reaction here, but this still potentially had room up to these highs. So Euro New Zealand dollar is interesting right now, all right? Because firstly, we're clearly in this uptrend. We've retraced to a really nice support level and the smart river, right? And the H4 after that big move up has had a nice retrace down. So if we start seeing some bullish candles in here, I think we've got a nice trade on our hands with Euro New Zealand dollar. But we need to start seeing buyers come into the market. So yeah, New Zealand dollar weakness, but we are seeing a bit of a retrace of that weakness. I just got some pain in one of my teeth. One of my teeth? Yeah, one of my teeth there. Don't go to the dentist ever. They are all evil. Sorry if we've got any dentists in, but you are. And guys, just a trade I want you to see as well is this pound US dollar. It's a sell trade. It's actually part of a London open strategy that we've developed in the VIP Trading Academy. So if you haven't, guys, please come join our VIP Trading Academy. We share all of our strategies in there. So I liked pound US dollar as a sell trade anyway, because if you look at the day chart, right, we're in this downtrend. Okay, we've got a nice big bearish candle, and we do have this room to move into back down to potentially these lows, right? So I like it from a daily point of view. H4 as well is looking good, right? We were just sideways, and then price has been breaking down. Okay, we've had a bit of a retrace, and then how I enter this is actually on the H1, right? And this is the 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. candle, right? And we actually entered on this candle here. Stops up here, profit down here. Now, I'm forward testing this strategy, guys, right? There might be a few tweaks along the way. Yeah, and I'll share all the tweaks and everything in the VIP Discord, guys, all right? So check it all out if you're interested in a London open strategy. And that reminds me, right, straight after this live stream at, what is it? It's 5 p.m. my time. I have no idea what that is your time. But literally 15 minutes after this live stream, guys, I'm sharing a super simple H4 and daily strategy, right? So go check that out as well. You know, if you just want a really simple strategy to follow, then check out the video I'm posting after this. So yeah, go check it out. But all of my strategies are based on price action, right? There's no secrets involved. There's no, I'm not hiding anything. Everything will be based on price action logic. All right. So yeah, go check all of that out. Right, guys, also in this 45 minutes, which is more important than life itself, is to take all of your questions and say hello to people. So let's say hello and see who is in. Luigi, how are you, Luigi? I love it. Luigi joins us every day. I appreciate it, Luigi. Phil, how are you from a cold England? Phil, I'm not going to lie, because all of my friends and family are in the UK, I like to send them pictures of beautiful sunshine, and then they tell me to piss off. That's generally how my messages go. I say, oh, look at the lovely sunshine we've got here in Dubai. And they're like, it's pissing with rain here, piss off, Tom. That's normally how it goes. John, the worst, scared of the dentist. John, you should be scared of the dentist. Everyone should. It's the work of the devil. I can feel it all kicking in, this pain, right? I'm just going to try and talk through it. I've got some water here, but I daren't drink it in case there's sensitivity and you see a grown man cry on YouTube. There's probably videos on it. Also, guys, I show my feet and cry on my OnlyFans page. Dear. If you're into crying and feet, then come join me for that. I'm only joking, guys. I don't have an OnlyFans. Yes, Brett, exactly. Guys, please get your questions over to me. Mr. Billionaire, hi, Mr. Billionaire. I see you joined our Discord channel, so welcome to that. I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, there's all the links there as well. Okay, and Brett makes a good point here. The FOMC meeting minutes later on, because of, these meetings, guys, in the news, because the government is in shutdown, because Trump's blaming the Democrats, these FOMC meeting minutes may not happen, right? Because the government's in shutdown. So, yeah, thanks for bringing that to our attention, Brett. Okay, Mr. Billionaire's got a question here. Tom, can we buy Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar again, and at which point? Okay, it's an interesting question. We'll take a look at that very shortly. That euro New Zealand dollar trade. Okay, so the guys in the indicator room are interested in that as well. And remember, guys, I'm only trading the indicator this month. We are up 1%. We've had 3 trades, 2 break even, 1 was positive. So we are up 1% so far. Fapello, how are you, Fapello? Fapello always shares his charts in the Discord. And yeah, he's a good trader and always showing us his moves. Christina, can we have a look at Euro Swiss franc? Yes, we can. Okay, so we're getting questions coming. So let's go to the first one. Let's start with Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. And the question is, can we get back into the Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar? And the simple answer to that is, let's do a top-down approach. And generally speaking, guys, I'm going to start with the daily, right? Now, the daily, right, Arthur Daily. Who remembers Arthur Daily and Minder? Showing my age there. So the daily is in an uptrend, right? So we want to buy Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. Mr. Billionaire's saying, can we buy it again? Now, before we even had the New Zealand dollar interest rate, right, which has all happened in today's candle, right? So let's ignore this candle. Look at that candle, right? So when if I had got up in the morning, what do you mean? I did get up in the morning, but let's imagine there was no interest rate decision from New Zealand. If you saw that uptrend, nice big bullish candle, room to move into, this is weekly resistance, even room to move back into these highs, I would be all over this trade, right? But the interest rate decision has made it just fly up and touch this resistance level. And that makes me less confident of taking this trade. Because if you go to the weekly chart, again, I don't make these levels up. The chart shows me these levels. That is a very important high. And look how price reacted from that level before, right? It is a key level. And now price is at that level. You also have to consider this as well, Mr. Billionaire. So again, before the New Zealand interest rate decision, this Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar is very overextended on the weekly. Look at where the Smart River is, right? And we had a bit of a rejection wick. So at the start of this week, I wouldn't want to buy into that wick anyway, really, right? But we did have more room up to that resistance. So the weekly is not filling me with confidence to keep buying that, right? Now, if we go back to the daily, if the daily candle finished like that, I am not interested at all in buying Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. In fact, I'm not interested because it's hit our key resistance level. So that is a top-down approach. And why we do this is the following. Because if you go to the H4 now, right, like Mr. Billionaire is suggesting, you would be seeing an uptrend, right? We've got a daily uptrend. Our indicator shows you that, right? And we're thinking, right, can we get back into this and take it back up to here? Now, the chances are you probably can because of that interest rate decision, right? That is a big piece of data for us to be bearish Kiwi, New Zealand dollar, right? But what I would be waiting for if I was to do that is, some kind, maybe a H4 candle that looks like this. Maybe it wants to come down a bit lower and we get a big H4 candle off of this. If we start seeing this, then okay, right? Potentially we could buy it back up to there, but that is weekly resistance. I wouldn't want to go any higher than that. Okay. So yeah, if I probably wouldn't trade this, but if you said, Tom, you had to trade it, what would you do? I would wait for a bullish H4 candle and buy it back up to these highs in here. So there you go, Mr. Billionaire. Hope that helps. Christina, it's always good to see a woman on the channel. So welcome, Christina. Trading is a very male-dominated industry. It really is, right? So Christina, welcome. Can you please look at Euro Swiss franc sales? Yes, we can. You know, straight away, before I even look at the chart, I know we are at a daily support level with Euro Swiss franc. Again, guys, that's not me saying, oh, look at me, I know the charts, but I look at these charts every single morning. I look at 28 currency pairs every single morning. So the day chart is this, right? So it's been coming down, then it ranged, and now it's coming down again. It broke these lows in here. So that was a downtrend, okay? So as soon as we got this candle here breaking these lows, it became a downtrend for me. Now, the problem is, you know, like with that Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar buy trade, we're selling into support. And again, I don't make up these levels. You know, I haven't just closed my eyes and drawn in a support level. Just look at the chart. Support, 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 support. If you say support again, it doesn't sound like support. Anyway, so do I want to keep pushing this sell into this level? Probably not. Does it have a bit further to go? Maybe. But I don't want to keep pushing into that level. And you've also you've got a psychological level here, right? You've got this 9.3, if I zoom in a little bit, you've got this 0.93 thousand level, right? That's a big psychological level, you know, but maybe it can cough, tooth sensitive, evil dentist. I'm going to give them a 1-star rating on Trustpilot. You know, maybe it could come down to that low, right? If we looked at the H4 now, yeah, you know, just look at the candles. Like if I showed you this candle and then I showed you this candle, there couldn't be any more contradiction, right? And that's the problem you're going to have if you're in a downtrend and you find a support level, because you're in a downtrend, so you find sellers. You're at a support level, you find buyers. And you normally get something like this when that happens. So to keep selling Euro Swiss franc is not for me, right? You know, if we had room to move into and this gray zone wasn't there, and let's say support was down here, then nice big bearish H4 candle in a daily downtrend, yeah, we can take it, right? But that is support, right? So just not enough room there for me, really, Christina. Chelsea is all I can offer. Okay. I'm trying to think what I said back to. Sorry, Phil, I'm a little bit slow on uptake of jokes sometimes. Okay, Chelsea, yeah. Chelsea's like a swear word to me, but it's not as bad as Man United. Iran Kunda Prince, Euro Aussie dollar. Yeah, this is still a sell trade for me. And it's looking good, right? Yeah, I really like this as a sell trade. I think it was Jane yesterday or someone else we spoke about this. We like this trade, right? Downtrend, right? Our indicator tells you that anyway. Big bearish candle. That doesn't tell me buyers have taken control at all. So sellers are still in control. We've got this room to move into. So yes, really like Euro Aussie dollar sells on the daily. And then if we drop down to the H4, right, this level's holding nicely, right? We wasn't too sure what was happening there. It was like, is price building up? No, it isn't. right? And this is where we're at. So funnily enough, the strategy that I share, I'm releasing a vid after this. It's like a strategy tutorial. And the setup is basically this, right? You're looking for a bearish daily trend. You're looking for a support level. And then you're looking for the smart river. And you want that double whammy resistance, right? You've got the horizontal resistance and you've got the smart river dynamic resistance. Those two combined with daily trend, and there's room to move into, is a really powerful concoction of a strategy, right? And I would be in this trade, but as you know, guys, I'm dedicating this month to trading the indicator. But yeah, I would be in this trade. I would have been in this trade from here. So let's see how it pans out. But yeah, really like Euro Aussie dollar sells. So yeah, hope that helps, Prince. Always want to sing when I hear Prince. Mike Doricott, The Little Shop of Horrors scared me for life watching it as a kid. Oh, is that Minder? Are we talking about Minder? Little Shop of Horrors scared me for life watching it as a kid. I don't really remember The Little Shop of Horrors. But Mike, you're obviously showing your age as well. Minder, right, I used to like. I don't remember The Little Shop of Horrors. Mike, you're going to have to send us a link in the Discord, right? Let us know what the hell that is. And then maybe I have seen it. It might unleash some childhood trauma in me, which would be really nice. Okay, Brett used to watch Minder. Yeah, he had a nice Ford Capri. Mr. Billionaire, Christina, you're more than welcome. Heath, we love a Star Wars reference. Afternoon, my master, may the force be with you. And you. The force is strong. Right, guys, please don't forget to get your questions over to me, and it can be anything to do with trading, so please leave a question right now. Before we take on any more questions, if I could please ask everyone to subscribe to the channel right now. Also, smash that notification button so you're aware of every time we release a vid. And also, please smash the like button. It really helps support the vid. Also, guys, if you look above my head, pain from the dentist again. Sensitivity. Yeah, sorry. Look above my head. First one, check out our website, www.simply-forex.com. On there, you will find access to all of our premium trading education, including the course, including the mentorship program where I coach you one-on-one, including the VIP Academy, and including our Kick-Ass Price Action Pro indicator. It's not called Kick-Ass Price Action Pro. That would be very unprofessional. It's just called Price Action Pro 101. Check it all out, guys. Also, please come join our free Discord channel. It's free. We've got a great trading community. You don't have to be on your own when you trade. Come join our community. Also, guys, today's live stream is brought to you by Pepperstone, a world-class leading broker. And if you switch brokers with them today using our link, we will give you free access to the VIP Trading Academy. And we'll give you a free essential Trading View subscription. I really don't get why people don't take me up on this offer. It is a no-brainer. So yeah, check it all out, guys. All the links are in the video description. Lee James, how are you? Good afternoon. Haven't seen you for a while. Right, very controversial here from Brett. I'm a Star Trek fan. A Trekkie, I believe they call them. Don't get me wrong, Star Wars is okay, but Star Trek wins in my book. Brett, we are going to fall out with that. Although I did like Star Trek, I was a bit of a Trekkie. I'm a bit of a sci-fi geek, to be honest with you. I love anything like that. Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings. I love all that. But Star Wars is the dog's gonads. Right, I saw a question up here. Okay, hey Tom, why didn't the indicator get you into Euro Aussie dollar yesterday at 10 a.m.? Was extra confluence required? Yes, PJ, extra confluence was required. So if we look at Euro Aussie dollar and we go to the H4, right, and we check out, if I do this, right, so we have different strategies, guys. So we were outside of this, so that's why there's no trade, right? This is telling us the price has become overextended if we start trading outside of this level. So exactly, PJ, that we needed more confluence. That's why we didn't take the Euro Aussie dollar trade. Now, like I say, if I was trading my just price action, I would be in this trade, right? But when I, and this goes for any strategy, guys, or anyone wanting to trade. If you say to yourself, you are going to trade this strategy for a month, you cannot stray from it, right? But, I can't say to all you guys in the VIP and on the Discord, I'm going to trade only the price action indicator strategies, and then I don't, right? So I have to stick religiously to the strategy that is in front of me. And what I do actually like about it is that the indicator strategies are so mechanical. It's very easy to stick to the strategy because it has clear entry criteria. There's only about, let's say 10% open to, open to your ideas, open to, what's the word I'm looking for? Open to interpretation. That's the word I was looking for. Bear with me. I've been to the dentist. I've had anesthesia. I'm barely alive. So yeah, and that's what I really like about it. It's so clean cut. It's so mechanical. And I've really been enjoying that aspect of the indicator strategies. I will miss out on trades, both winning trades, but also losing trades, right? I will have fewer trades. But so far I've been enjoying it. Yeah, and I'm going to do a vid, guys. So in the VIP and on the Discord, I'll do a vid about how the indicator performed in October, right? And we'll happily share the results. I share every trade, so you can see it anyway. And then I'll also do how it felt, from a psychological perspective to trade the indicator. But obviously, I need to do it for this month and see how it's felt for this month. But so far, I must say, I've had fewer trades, and that's been fine. The process has been very mechanical, right? We're up 1%. It's only the 8th of October. Happy days. So far, so good. But good question, PJ. Right, what else are we looking at? Okay, right, good. Let's not talk about trading all the time. Lee James, I'm going to be really boring here, but I like Attenborough. His documentaries are awesome. Lee James, you are preaching to the choir. Attenborough is a effing legend. He should run the world, right? Get rid of all these individual presidents and prime ministers. Let's just become one big country and put Attenborough in charge. He will sort it out in about 3 weeks. That's how much of a legend he is. Like, if you put Attenborough in France right now, because let's be honest, France is having a bit of a political nightmare, Attenborough will sort it out. Yeah. He'll just make you look at a few orangutan videos. Everyone will chill out, right, as a result, because orangutans are very chilling to look at. And then he'll just, give them some pearls of wisdom. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Yeah, I love Attenborough documentaries. That's up there with Star Wars. Right, Heath. Okay, back to trade. Okay. While we're on this, Battlestar Galactica. I haven't watched the new series, but I did used to watch a bit of Battlestar Galactica back in the day. Yeah, and I did enjoy that. I didn't enjoy it as much as Star Trek or Star Wars, but yeah, I like, and basically anything to do with spaceships, I like, and I still like them. I'm like a big child. Yeah, and Lee James agrees. Put Attenborough in charge of the planet. There'll be no climate, climate warming. Is that the right one? Climate, whatever it is. Yeah, he'll sort it all out. Oh God, guys, we're here to talk about trading, but you keep coming up with classic TV. Knight Rider. I love the Hoff. If I could come back as one human being, it would be a combination of Attenborough and the Hoff combined. Imagine the Hoff and the Attenborough combined. My God, that would be a hell of a man. But yeah, Knight Rider was awesome. I liked a bit of Street Hawk. I liked a bit of Airwolf. The A-Team. Christ, 80s TV. That was some good shit. Right. Let's have a trading question. Just because, we're called simply Forex. Right, dear Tom, we looked at the FTSE the other day and it was close to all-time highs with no value. It's now blasted through all-time highs. Can you please have a look? Do you think there is? Do you think it will stop? So, yeah, there you go. Right. I mean, I keep saying this, right? Now, and I will keep saying it because it's my strategy. Okay. Now, where the hell has that gone? Bear with me 1 second, guys. Right. Okay, so yeah, the indicator has different strategy, guys. You can select the strategies. That's what that was. If you're thinking, what the hell is Tom looking at? Now, I keep saying this with gold. I keep saying the same thing, right? And it keeps going up. But, this is overbought, right? There's no value for me. If we got a retrace into here, I'm all over it, right? But if I had £1 for every time I keep saying that at the moment, I would be up £10. I've only said it 10 times, and the same again here, right? It's going up. We want to buy the FTSE as a result. But, do you want to start buying up here? No, right? You want to, here would be a really, you've got the Smart River coming around. Here would be a really nice level, right? If we come back to here. Think of it like buying anything. Maybe you're buying I want to think of something really, you're buying a boat. You're buying a speedboat. Trading's going very well. You're giving it the big I am and you want to buy a speedboat, right? Now, if you start buying your speedboat up here, it's going to cost you 500K. It's a hell of a speedboat, right? But if you start buying it down here, the speedboat's going to cost you 450, right? So I know where I want to buy it. And it doesn't matter if it's a speedboat, if it's a house, if it's the NASDAQ, if it's the FTSE, if it's the euro, US dollar, if it's gold. I don't want to buy here. I want to buy here. Now, the chance you take with that is price may never come back down to here, right? I reckon it will, but we don't deal in I reckons, we deal in facts, right? So, this is where I'm interested. And if it just keeps shooting off, then okay, no problem. There's another 28 currency pairs, endless assets, endless indices I can trade that will give me the setup I want. So yeah, that's it. There is no value up here, but we want to buy it, right? So we need a retrace. But yeah, gold's the perfect example. Look at this bad boy, right? You know, I remember saying it here. It's overextended. I remember saying it here. It's overextended. It's overextended. It's overextended. Just look at it, right? You know, to the point, I am going to start burgling houses and collecting gold. That's my plan for the rest of the year. Dear, laughing at my own jokes. Don't go burgling homes for gold. Do it for cash and gold. That'd be smart. Don't burgle. Just joking. You never know what you can get done for these days. That was all one big joke, right? But gold, sell it if you got some. Okay, and then so Heath was talking about psychological levels. Yeah, so 4,000 psychological level. Will we get a bit of a bounce here? Will we start seeing candles like this? Sorry, no, on the FTSE you said. Let's go back to the FTSE. So you can't, I mean, next psychological level, 9,600. I mean, the next big one would be 10,000, right? I would put my house on you getting a bounce there. You know, it's such a big psychological number. So, yeah, we shall see. Right, I don't remember Automan. So we've been talking 80s TV. Apologies if you have no idea about 80s TV in the UK or US. So but most people probably will. Automan, I have never heard of Automan. Please again put a link in the Discord so I can see these strange TV shows. Yeah, Lee James, yeah, none of this US government shutdown malarkey with Attenborough at the helm. Indeed, I could not have put that sentence together better myself. Heath, you are welcome. Right, HSBC said they wanted to trade gold to the 4K level. Yeah, gold, the 4K level is the big one, right there. Right, let's have a look at this little thing we were testing. So we're still testing this. Again, this is my London Open strategy. So this pound US dollar trade, I'm forward testing this strategy. We're in this right now. What else are we looking at? Let's have a look at Euro US dollar. Yeah, so that we said it the other day. We said it on this candle, right? That is a nice trade. So yeah, potentially, yeah, all the way down to these lows here. So Prince, are you in this trade? Please let us know. Also, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button and smash the notification button, guys. It really helps support the vid. Right, well, there were some other questions up here, so let's take a look at those. Or have I answered all the questions? I believe I have answered all of the questions. Let's look at the trades. Let's look at Euro New Zealand dollar. We were looking at that. Okay, we're not, we've got 20 minutes till this H4 candle finishes. That's not really the candle we're looking for. But if we get a nice big bullish H4 candle on Euro New Zealand dollar, right, then this very much is a price action trade. It's also a price action 101 indicator trade, right? So we'll keep an eye on this as well. We like Euro New Zealand dollar buys. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. We talked about this. So Mr. Billionaire, can we start taking a trade off of that H4 candle? Potentially. Just another quick thing, guys, right? If you're thinking, has a trade retraced enough, right, then it's a very important thing to consider, right? But really, your answer is this. Now, I'll look at this and I'll be like, right, has it retraced enough? Does it have more room to the downside? And the truth of the matter is, no one on planet Earth knows. No one. Not even, there's no inside trader going on here, right? Nobody knows the answer to that. So what you do is add parameters to the trade. Now, I know that I want this to be my target, right? I would aim for that. I want that to be my target. And because this is the last low here, I want this about here to be my stop loss, right? Now, bearing that in mind, all you need to do is find the middle point, because with any trade, the minimum I want is 1:1. So that line right there represents 1 reward to 1 risk. So even if you didn't wait for a bullish candle and you wanted to be aggressive, let this guide you, right? Let this guide you. Before you take any trade, you must know exactly where you want your stop loss and exactly where you want your target. And that will give you a clear picture of where you can enter. So realistically, as this come down, I could have entered here. God, my tooth. Ow. I could have started buying here because the minimum I want is 1:1. If I started entering down here, anything below this, I'm just getting a better risk to reward, right? But I am okay with 1:1. And you have to think, right, with New Zealand dollar being, having its interest rate reduced further than what was forecast, you have to think there's some New Zealand dollar weakness in the charts, right? So yeah, there you go, Mr. Billionaire. I think there's your trade right there. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar buys. What else are we looking at? Yes. Yeah, I agree with this comment as well, right? So Tom, just follow the fiscal chaos, central bank buying, and human emotion in terms of greed, fear, and panic. Those roads lead to gold. Yeah, I totally agree. But even, even if you think of the big boys, not Bitcoin, a little shout out to Bitcoin, though, that did get up to 127,000 the other day. But when you get to these psychological levels, right, a lot of it is the big boys pushing it up, right? But you're going to get some selling when people take profit or take partial profits. So that will instigate a sell-off. Gold is very rare in the fact, right, if we go to the day chart, gold is very rare that you have had a move like that and it's never once retraced to our smart river. That is very, very rare. I'll show you how rare it is, right? Even this big move, right? Big move retraces to the river, right? Big move here eventually retraces to the river, right? And then it wants to push up, right? It's rare. Even when gold, I mean, this is another rare moment, right? Look at this. It doesn't ever get back until here, right? It's so strongly trending, but it will 100 million% come back and touch this river. Now, you have to bear in mind this smart river will catch up with price, right? So it might only come back to here. But that river represents opportunities to get in and buy gold. It is a dynamic support level, right? And I would, at the very least, have to see a pullback into that smart river, which will catch up with price. Yeah, but gold is mental. Yeah, sell all your gold, guys, and go live happily ever after. And on that note, guys, we are going to call it a day. So thank you very much for joining me for the live stream, guys. Really appreciate you coming on. Really appreciate your questions. You know, thank you for spending your time with me. Also, guys, please don't forget to come join me again tomorrow, same time as usual. Please check out the vid that's going to be posted in about 15 minutes. It's a really nice, simple daily and H4 strategy for you to get your laughing gear around. That won't make sense to a lot of people. Anyway, guys, enjoy the vid. Have a great trading day. See you soon, guys. See you tomorrow.